So this is some thinking on what is possible in life and what is impossible. And the reason I'm thinking this is that I've decided recently, as in the last 2 hours, to no longer pursue women for a romantic relationship in my life. I think there are too many issues, negative issues for me in pursuing women. And I've covered the reasons for this in my Man, Woman, Myth documentary, which is available on this channel as well. But it's also more widely available on YouTube. So the issues are varied, but basically I suppose it boils down to misandry, which is the hatred of men. And misandry is very prevalent in society. And as I say, I've covered the reasons for this in my documentary. But I am wondering where this leaves me now. Formerly in my life, before I thought this way, life could be seen to be about basically meeting a woman, marrying her, having children. And that would be the main point of life. So if I've removed women as a focus in my life, where does that leave me? I would imagine I need to find another focus, something else to aim for in life. I have been there and done that in the sense I've done what nature wanted, and I've found a woman, married her, had children. And so now I do need to find something else to focus on in life. Now I'm finding that to be quite difficult because life was always simple before in having a woman for a relationship and then producing children. But now that part of life is gone. So I need to decide what to do with myself. I'm thinking for now that I want to communicate online in this way as a way of expressing myself and occupying my time. I want to be basically useful in the world and not just an old man increasingly relying on benefits or whatever to survive. I want to be basically useful in the world. And the problem I'm having is that I've lost my memory due to accident. So it's difficult to know how I can be useful in the world. So I am thinking about things anyway, and hope to do something worthwhile. But I'm thinking, is it accurate to describe life being about finding a woman and having children, and then raising their children so that they can go on to find a relationship and they can produce children? It seems very formulaic, very repetitive, and existence just for the sake of it. It's hard to see any kind of point to life, any kind of aim. The only aim seems to be to continue life, just for the sake of it. And that's not very satisfying, but it's still an achievement. But so as I say, I'm wondering what to do with myself now. I've had children. I'm not involved in raising them due to things that are wrong, but I'm glad to know that I have made children. So I'm thinking, what do I do now? I don't want to find a new relationship because I don't think that's healthy. And I hope I've made that clear in other videos on this channel. The reasons why. I think men need to defend themselves more. And unfortunately, that means not having intimate relations with women anymore. Now, that's a tremendous sacrifice, and I'm not sure if it's realistic. But I do think it's necessary in the same way it would be necessary for a drug addict to give up dependence on his chosen drug. So a cocaine user, for example, doesn't want to give up his use of cocaine, but it is the best thing to do. But there's tremendous sacrifice in doing so. But it still needs to be done. I think the same thing applies with men's relations with women. I think misandry is too prevalent, and there are too many dangers for men in having intimate relations with women. Social issues, financial issues, emotional issues, legal issues. I mean, how many men are out there divorced from their wife and still having to pay very large sums in legal fees? I think a man is basically subjugating himself when he marries a woman. He's putting himself at a major risk of being destitute in life, or at least having to support a woman who he no longer loves. He still has to support her financially, indefinitely. And he can have his children taken away from him. I think men are in basically an awful situation as regards an intimate relationship with a woman, particularly if he should marry a woman. I married a woman in my own life, and I'm paying the consequences for that now. So I am thinking that men do need to walk away from women. I was about to say pretty much universally, to a large extent at least. As things stand legally, a man is making himself very vulnerable by having an intimate relationship with the woman. And this is not even if you marry her, just having an intimate relationship. Marriage, I suppose, could be described as the nail in the coffin. But a relationship, full stop, an intimate relationship, that is the issue. So I am wondering what this means going forward. I mean, it could be the case that men increasingly wind up, I think that came out wrong, increasingly wise up to the issues against men in having intimate relationships with women. It could be that men increasingly wise up. But I'm wondering what this means for the birth rate, for example. I think men need to protect themselves, and having children is very dangerous for a man to do. So as things stand, having children makes men vulnerable to all kind of abuses, basically, in his life experience. I'm wondering how much awareness will grow within men about the awful situation that men are in as regards intimate relationships with a woman. I imagine, and I suppose I hope, that more men will become aware of the awful situation they're in when they have an intimate relationship with a woman. I think men going their own way can and should grow. I don't know if it will, but I think it should.